Hello everyone. In taxation, we are understanding the salary income. We have understood all the rules and regulations in the last video. So now we will start the sum. We'll see how to calculate the taxable salary. Today we will start very simple sum so that we can understand the concept properly. Then we'll go further and we'll take little bit different points covered some. Okay. So today we will discuss sum number 13. In sum number 13, it is stated that Sri X is the general manager of ABC Company Limited. From the following details, compute the taxable income from salaries for the assessment year 2019-20. We have to calculate the taxable income from salaries for the assessment year 2019. Here we are given basic salary 20,000 per month. Now we have to understand that we are given the information monthly. Here it is stated per month. So we have to convert it into the year. Dearness allowance rupees 2000 per month. Now, this line is very important, half of which is part of salary for retirement purposes. We have to understand that if any part is given for retirement purposes, that will be included in the calculation for any allowances in the salary. This portion means this is the half portion, half of which. So this portion will be added in basic salary while we calculate any allowances. Then at that time, salary will be treated as basic salary plus this half part of the retirement purpose fairness allowances. Clear? Sorry. Then next is house rent allowances, that is 6,000 per month. Actual house rent paid at Ahmedabad rupees 6,000 per month. Here the city is given because while calculating the HRA, this city is also important for the third condition. Education allowances for two children rupees 600 per month. Transport allowance rupees 2,400 per month. Hostel allowance for rupees one child rupees 500 per month. Employers' contribution to recognized provident fund is 12.5%. Interest credited to the balance recognized provident fund at the rate of 10%, and that is 50,000. Then rupees 200 per month is deducted from his salary as professional tax. So now we will start the sum, calculation of sum. We have to make the statement of taxable salary income of Mr. X for assessment year 2019-20. We will make the table of 3 columns, particulars, amount. Now our first point is basic salary. So we will do the first entry, that is basic salary. Here 20,000 rupees per month is given. So we will do 20,000 into 12 is equal to 2,40,000. Then our second thing is dearness allowance rupees 200 per month. This line will only use for calculating the allowances or any other things. But here we will add full dearness allowance, like dearness allowance 2000 into 12 is equal to 24,000. Then house rent allowances to be 600. Now to calculate HRA, we have to go for the condition HRA. First condition is actual received HRA. We have received 6,000. Here it is stated that House rent allowance is 6,000. Get we are getting the 6,000 allowances, and we are paying the rent is 6,000 per month, and the city is Ahmedabad. So now let's calculate it. Actual received HRA 12 into 6,000 is equal to 72,000. Then second entry is actual rent paid, that is 12 into 6,000 again is equal to 72,000 minus 10% of salary. Now here this line will be followed. This line, half of which part of salary is for retirement purpose. So this half part will be added in the salary 12,000 because PNS allowance is 24,000. So 12,000 is added into 2,40,000. So that amount will become 2,52,000 into 10 by 100. So it will be 25,200. We'll minus 25,200 from the 72,000, then we get 46,800. And our last condition is 40% of salary. Why 40%? Because only for four cities, it is 50% of salary. The rest of the cities will be calculated under 40% of salary. Which four cities are there? Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, and Chennai. Here the house is in Ahmedabad. So 40% of salary. So our salary is already calculated to 2,40,000 plus 12,000. So 2,52,000 into 40%. That is 1,08,000. Now our condition is exempted HRA is whichever is lower. So we will write down exempted allowance is equal to whichever is lower, and 46,800. 46,800 is lower than or the another two amount. So it will be calculated 46,800. So now let's go back to the sum and we'll write down HRA. Actual received 6,000 into 12, 72,000 minus exempted. We have already calculated 46,800. So we'll get 25,200. Then education allowance for two children, rupees 600 per month. Here it is given for two children combined. So we'll write down education allowance received 6,600 into 12, that is 7,200. But how much is exempted? 100 rupees per month. So 100 into 12 and maximum for two children. And here even two children only given. So exempted is 100 into 12 into 2. 2,400, that is 4,800. Now we'll see basic salary is done, DNS allowance is done, HRA is done, education allowance is done. Now it is transport allowance. Transport allowance is fully taxable. So transport allowance is equal to 2,400 into 12 because it is given per month. So 2,400 into 12 is equal to 28,800. Then hostel allowance for one child is 500. Here it is only for one child. So hostel allowance is 500 into 12, 6,000 minus exempted. Exempted amount is 300 rupees per month. So 300 into 12 and it is for one child only. So into 1, 3,600 rupees. We'll get the answer 2,400. We always deduct exempted amount from the actual amount to get the taxable amount. Then employer's contribution to recognized provident fund. Always remember employees' contribution to recognized employers' contribution to recognize provident fund will be calculated on basic salary. But basic salary means what? Basic salary plus if any retirement purpose is there for DNS allowance, that DNS allowance will be added. So basic salary plus that retirement allowance is DNS allowance. So 12,000 will be added into 2,40,000, so it will become 2,52,000. So we'll calculate contribution in RPF is 2,52,000 into 12.5 percentage, that is 31,500. But exempted percentage is 12. Exempted percentage is 12. So minus exempted is equal to 2,52,000 into 12 by 100, that is 30,240. So we'll get 1,260 taxable. Then interest credited to balance recognized provident fund at the rate 10%, 50,000. Here always interest is calculated on the fund of RPF, but we don't know how much fund has been collected. So for calculating this, we have to write down interest on RPF 50,000. Then for exempted, we have to do the calculation like this way. Okay, for the 10% interest, the interest is 50,000. How much is for 9.5%? So 50,000 into 9.5 by 10, that is 47,500. So always remember whichever amount is given, we'll multiply that amount with 9.5% divided by whichever percentage is given in the amount. We will divide by that percentage, so we'll get the exempted interest. So 47,500 will be deducted from 50,000 and we'll get the amount 2,500. 200 rupees per month is deducted from salary as professional tax. Professional tax is included in the deduction. So now all the points are covered. So we'll total the amount. We will not consider this column for the total. We'll consider this column only for the amount. So the total of this amount is 3,28,916. Then we will do deduction, specific deductions. First deduction, standard deduction. Always remember in any sum, this line will become in the specific deduction. First line will be this only, standard deduction, 40,000. This amount is fixed. This amount is fixed. We have to deduct 40,000 only in any sum. And professional tax, if there is given any professional tax, we will add. If there is no professional tax, we will not calculate it. So professional tax 2,400, so it is 42,400 we will deduct from the gross salary, and then we'll get the net total taxable salary, and that is 2,86,560. Okay. So now you understand that each and every line contains conditions like HRA, education allowance, hostel allowance, contribution, interest. Every line is containing the condition. So we have to remember the rules and regulation of salary to calculate the sum properly. Okay, I hope you understand this sum. And if you find any query or any difficulty, you can ask me. I suggest you to do practice for with similar sum also and with similar examples also, so that you can remember and you can memorize all the conditions properly and correctly. Okay, thank you.